Starting with the queen's pawn is just as strong as the king's pawn. Responding with a fundamental move that battles for the center. Nice. Natural knight development that protects your pawn. This move clears the way to bring their bishop into the game. This move opens the path for your bishop to enter the game. They bring out their knight, increasing their control over the center. This is an ambitious pawn move that activates your position. They exchange pieces of equal value. You recaptured. With the queen out so early, maybe you can develop with tempo. Their best option was to develop a knight and attack the center. This move activates your knight to strengthen control over the center. Their knight comes into play, supporting the center. Your best move was to castle kingside. They've offered to trade pieces of equal value. Nice development that allows queenside castling next move. This is a fair trade. You recaptured the queen. They offer a fair trade of pieces. You're kicking their bishop out of a useful square. This is a fair trade. A logical capture. Your opponent prepares to castle queenside and secure their king. A knight in the center controls more squares. They chose kingside castling, getting their king out of the center and activating a rook. Castling on the same side of the board as your opponent is a solid choice. That's not a mistake, but they did not find the best move here. You're kicking their knight out of a useful square. Your opponent improves their position by trading their bishop for a more active piece. A logical capture. This seems like a mistake to me. Your best move was to take an outpost with a knight. Your opponent creates a pawn chain, making their structure more robust. This move opens up space for your king to evade threats along the back rank. Their better move was to prepare a retreat square for the king. You are now able to move. Good job. That's what I would have played too. They've offered to trade pieces of equal value. This move lost the advantage, and now you stand equal. Their pawn attacks your knight, kicking it out of its current position. That was a fair trade. A straightforward recapture. You're going to end up losing a pawn. They kick your knight with a pawn, forcing it to move or be captured. A nice fork here puts both pieces under pressure. The rook slips away as your opponent avoids material loss. You've activated every piece with this move, putting your rook into play. This central challenge forces you to react in the middle. Good awareness keeps the pawn alive here. Uh-oh, a discovered attack from your opponent targets your pawn. Your better option was to reveal an attack on the pawn. This move left their pawn hanging. They overlooked the critical move, not spending enough time to spot it. That was a free pawn. The rook slips away as your opponent avoids material loss. Yes, this is the way. A straightforward recapture. Solid play. You brought the rook over to protect your passed pawn. Your opponent moves their rook to escape your attack. This move challenges their rook for control of the file. The rook slips away as your opponent avoids material loss. Your passed pawn advances to its goal. You had the upper hand, and now your position is winning. Nice, definitely the right move. That was the only move. You had a better option, but this is not bad. Your opponent moves their knight to escape your attack. Your better option was to push a passed pawn. Their move stopped you from being able to force eventual checkmate. That fork puts real pressure on your opponent's position. Capturing the checking rook. You captured a free rook. Their knight now occupies a secure outpost. Nice way to win material using a fork. Their king steps away from the check by your rook. You want a pawn for free. That's playable. You captured a free pawn. I like their choice. Not the best move, but not bad either. Your opponent attacks two pieces at once with his fork. You escape the check from the knight, capturing your hanging pawn. By protecting your passed pawn, you keep real winning chances alive. They bring in one more attacker, so your pawn needs attention. You kicked your opponent's piece from that square, capturing your hanging pawn. Good job. That's what I would have played too. They played one of the best moves here. Yes, this is the way. Creating a pawn chain. Passed pawns have a clear path to promotion. You are now able to attack the knight with a pawn. This kicks a knight. The knight slips away as your opponent avoids material loss. You are threatening to force eventual checkmate. They prevented you from being able to force eventual checkmate. You dodge the check, moving your king out of harm's way. They've made a mistake, and their knight is now lost. Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended. They blocked the check from your rook. Your pawn made it to the promotion square. That was the only move. You continue the checkmate attack. That knight was your strongest move available. You're still on the road to checkmate. They made one of the top moves in this position. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. You want a pawn for free. They are right on target. You continue the checkmate attack. You captured that free pawn. Precise move from your opponent. You're still on the road to checkmate. They played the strongest move available. You continue the checkmate attack. They are right on target. Your move gets closer to checkmate. I like their choice. You continue the checkmate attack. They move their king out of the check from your rook. You're still on the road to checkmate. Precise move from your opponent. You continue the checkmate attack. They played one of the best moves here. You continue the checkmate attack. They played the strongest move available. You continue the checkmate attack. They are right on target. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. Precise move from your opponent. You've wrapped up the game with a textbook ladder mate.